Hey guys, what is shaking? TGIF. We made it to Friday, another week in the books. Today, not courtesy of Dunkin', not courtesy of Starbucks, but my favorite coffee, Wawa. I actually felt decent enough to walk in. If they had a drive-thru, I swear I'd go there every day. But they don't, so I'll have to keep waiting. Speaking of waiting, I've been talking to a gentleman named Terry, and he's been practicing gratitude. He was very intrigued about the concept of just letting faith take over and leave it in God's hands, or again, whatever faith you follow. And he asked me, was there a specific moment that I knew everything kind of clicked in? I would guess the answer is yes, but I can't tell you exactly. It's kind of a two-pronged answer. I mean, the first one was just simply, I had nowhere else to go. I was trying everything to be the best person I possibly could be. And internally, I felt like nobody was seeing it. Not that you do it for other people to see it, but my circumstances didn't change. And I guess I looked at it like, why aren't you helping me, God? I'm doing everything you're asking me to do, and I'm still right where I am. And I had to just finally say to myself, I give up. I can't do it anymore alone. I need your help. And that's kind of when it was forced to take over. But the one thing I will tell you, and I take full credit for this because I don't think anybody else is crazy enough to call life this, but the one thing I've come to realize is, don't laugh, life is just one big waiting room. I'm convinced of it. Think about it. With mindfulness and gratitude, and Stoic thinking, it's about living in the now, appreciating the now, not dwelling on the past, not anxiety over the future. And the more I thought about it, life is just one big waiting room. That's all it is. Listen, some establishments like hospitals and doctors and automobile dealerships and movie theaters are kind enough to give you specific what they would call waiting rooms. But at the end of the day, all you're doing in there is thinking and praying. Although it's not really praying, but you go to a doctor's office. What do? You're sitting there saying, "Oh, I hope this line ain't long. I hope I get in soon. I pray nothing's wrong." You go to the movies. I pray the movie's good. I pray the ticket's not that expensive. I mean, go to an automotive dealership. I pray they fix my car right. I hope it's not too much money. Go on an airplane. I pray it's a good flight. I pray I get where I have to go. But at the end of the day, you have no control over any of those things. None. You can try your best to put yourself in positions what's the proper word? For a higher percentage of a positive outcome, I think, and working hard towards it. You can research your airlines and your doctors and your car dealerships, but at the end of the day, you have zero control over all those things, zero. And I come to realize, even the things that don't have so-called waiting rooms, you're at a red light. What are you doing? Oh, I pray this light turns green. You're lying in bed at night all by yourself. And you say to yourself, what would I be waiting for then? You waiting to fall asleep. You're praying that you have good dreams. You're praying that you wake up tomorrow. You're praying that tomorrow is better than today. We are always, all day long, spending, I'm convinced, 95 to 99% of the day hoping/praying about things that we don't ultimately have full control over. And that, honestly, that theory that my own warped brain came up with really changed my way of thinking. Instead of sitting at a red light now and saying, "Oh, I pray that the light turns green. I hope it turns green," I'm listening to the song. I'm paying attention to the song that's on. That's hitting me in a different way, in getting feelings. I'm thinking about maybe something positive that I did that day, something I can improve on. But I'm trying not to waste any seconds of my life anymore about what might happen, because I can't control it. Obviously, we all want great things. We all, like I said, you could put yourself in positions to succeed. I understand that. You have to work. I mean, they're basic necessities of life. I get that. But what I'm not going to do is lose sleep over it. I'm not going to let it consume me. I'm not going to let it eat me up inside anymore. Because, like I said, I'm convinced that life is just one big waiting room. And then to kind of put two together, they always say, God's never early, God's never late. God's timing is always perfect. Things happen on I'll say on faith's time. Not FaceTime, faith's time. So I'm saying to myself, life is just one big waiting room that, again, you have no control over, so you might as well give it to your faith. Nothing wrong with that. Put yourself in a position to succeed, but ultimately just know that what's meant to be will be. And you can't lose sleep over anything else. So I hope that helps. Have a good day.